welcome to Brews in Boxing. Gentlemen, you know I'm so excited for this week. You guys know why. We'll get into that in a minute. But before we get into that, my name is Ryder Live. Thank you for joining us another week. Lots of news to get to and some reviews and a giant preview. You know what that's all about. But we're going to get to that in a minute. Filthy Rich, how you doing, buddy?
LeBron James is the number one scorer in NBA history. I'll drink to that here now.
As sick as that banana. All right. Also, here's the one, the only. Don't open that beer yet. Push light is Judge Jimmy James. Judge, what's up, buddy?
Oh, yeah, a little premature.
He'll have it done before we get to it.
Yeah, that's fair. I just want to say congratulations to Cooper Kupp. Stellar season for the Rams, and that is awesome to see. So congratulations, MVP for the Super Bowl.
Little Cooper Kupp. I remember when we were talking about we picked the wrong guy. We said Bob Woods had a better year, but that's all right. Congratulations to the Rams and the Bengals, too. Joe Burrow became one of my favorite quarterbacks, the way he dresses.
Your guy.
He's awesome. He dresses like me. All right. Also with us is one, the only, Matty Bush. What's up, Matty Seabot? Matt from
How we all doing? glad to be here on the new day, Tuesday.
All right. Yeah, Tuesday is the day we are starting to film now. We're still going to be uploading here early in the week. But just so you know, when we are talking about fights, we're filming it on Tuesday. So if things happen before then, that is why we're not talking about it like that. So, you know. All right, gentlemen, before we pop a beer, James, I'm going to need a little help here. Go ahead and pop that music. That's right. It's Amir Khan week, baby. Amir Khan week. It's finally here. It's my Christmas. Here we go. I'll drink to that. Gentlemen, get your beers out because it is Amir Khan King Kong week. Let's go.
Cheers.
Oh, I can't wait to get to that. That'll be in our previews, but we got some other things to get to first. So, gentlemen, let's move on with the show. All right, before we can open up our Christmas gifts, we have to do some brews and news here. So, gentlemen, lots of news to get to this week. First one up on the bat. Ryan Garcia switches trainers. He's switching from Eddie Reynoso to Joe Goosen ahead of the Manuel Tago fight. Tago, did I get that right? Probably not, huh? Tago. Sure. All right. Filthy Rich, is this a good move to move off of Reynoso? He's well known. I don't know much about Joe Goosen. Why don't you tell if this is a good move or not?
Yeah, I mean, Joe Goosen's like, I think he's a little too old school, but I don't think this was by choice. I think I'm not calling it the Canelo camp, but I don't know if Reynoso wants him in the gym. I think there is something about Ryan Garcia wanting Instagram followers and cameras and stuff like that following him around to build his own profile. So I don't know if this is really Ryan Garcia switching trainers or if the story is really Eddie Reynoso is kicking Ryan Garcia out of his gym.
Well, isn't Joe Goosen old school, as you say? Because he's probably not going to like that then.
I don't think Eddie Reynoso. I think Eddie Reynoso is taking boxing seriously. Joe Goosen's got a lot of guys he can train. He does like PBC fights and stuff. Joe Goosen's a good trainer, but you pay the money for your trainer, and if Garcia has the money to say, "Hey, we'll give you an extra couple thousand to have cameras in the ring and stuff like that," I mean, I don't know. All I know is that this may not be Ryan Garcia just switching trainers. The underlying story here might be Canelo may not want this in the gym.
Well, if Canelo don't want you out. Judge Jimmy James, what do you think of that take here?
Well, it's one way to look at it. I do think that, I mean, it's definitely a possibility, right? The other thing with this is if you want to play a little Ryan Garcia side, Reynoso might not have the time to spend that Garcia needs or requires on his game. He might need a trainer that's way more hands-on if you're already going with, the likes of Andy Ruiz and Canelo Alvarez and Oscar Valdez. That's a lot. That's a lot of people in the stable. I mean, I figured you'd all learn from each other, but I mean, could be the possibility. I mean, I know Reynoso's only been with Garcia for like 4 years or maybe 3.5, something like that. And I think he was with Goosen before that. So I think it's just going back to his roots. but it could be because he needs more of that hands-on training. So that's, I know he's said something similar like that at one point. So that's probably what I'd take about it.
Well, I know Ryan Garcia suffers from the one thing that Matt Seabach suffers from as well, as being the second best good-looking person in all of boxing. Is Ryan Garcia, because you know who is the best looking? Amir Khan. It's Amir Khan week, baby! Woo! But just like this show, Seabach, you're the second best looking going up to me. How do you feel about this trainer change from Reynoso to Goosen?
It's all speculation. Both the guys said something good about it. I just think I think he doesn't work hard in the gym. I think all those guys in the gym are they're busting themselves out completely for Eddie Reynoso. I think Garcia is more involved with wanting to have an internet profile. I don't mess around with the internet all that often. So I know he only cares about that. And there's maybe the mental issues, or maybe the guy is just not motivated and thinks that he deserves more than he's worked for. I think Eddie Reynoso is an old school trainer. He doesn't want to mess around with that. And he's going to keep his eyes on the prize, and he's got a good camp going. I think he might have been a cancer to the camp, and I think he was asked politely to leave.
So you guys all think that Ryan Garcia needs to be up in the gym just working on his fitness. Goosen's the witness. Is that what you're thinking? Huh?
I mean, I guess that's one way to say it.
Oh. All right. That's my song. All right, here we go. Moving on then. I think we hit that one. All right. Ryan Garcia, maybe you'll be the best looking one soon. We don't know. All right. We talked last week that Canelo took the 2-fight deal and did not take the Charlo deal. Well, apparently, maybe it was a really good idea, because apparently Jermall Charlo was arrested in Texas on felony charges. Not good. Felony, I believe they're domestic assault charges. Is that what it was? I believe that's what it was. It's allegedly he is arrested, but these are some very serious charges. Judge Jimmy James, why don't you bring us up to speed?
Oh, well, I mean, it's what they say. It's an assault charge, alleged assault charge, but it definitely doesn't look good for him at all, especially coming off the fact that he had the whole one earlier in the summer with the stealing the money from the waitress and all that assault and all that stuff, which did get dropped because of lack of evidence, which I think lack of evidence is just how much Andrew Jackson can you put in front of somebody. But either way, who knows? That's just my take. But yeah, I don't know. It doesn't look good for him, especially if he's trying to get a big fight and he just gets arrested. Man, it's not looking good.
Andrew Jackson, those are 20s. He's not Adrian Broner here. He's gonna have to drop some Benjamins in front of him.
You get a lot of 20s, man. How do you want to break it up?
That's Adrian Broner style. Well, someone who knows a lot about the penal system is Matty Bush there. What do you think about this arrested allegedly in Texas on felony charges? How is this going to affect his future?
Well, just remember, you're innocent until proven guilty. Always remember that first and foremost. But no, it's going to affect them huge. Like, the only way that you could make a positive spin on this is if actually he gets everything figured out, and I'm sure they will. You throw enough, like James said, enough money at someone, it'll go away. But now he can use that and be the bad guy in a Canelo Alvarez fight, and he can really stoke the fire and say, this guy is not a good person. And Canelo Alvarez is going to look like an angel coming to cast judgments down. And I think it could end up being a good thing down the road. But he basically took himself out of the running now, obviously.
I'm going to tell you why you're wrong. Yeah, you're innocent until proven guilty in the court system, but not in the court of public opinion. This is a very bad thing in the court of public opinion for this guy, and that's what's going to affect your career. Filthy Rich, do you agree with that, or do you agree with Matty Ice?
Well, here's what we don't know. We don't know the family member he assaulted. We don't know if this is a woman in the household. That would make him look really bad. We don't know if this is Jermall. Maybe he's beating up his younger brother. There's nothing wrong with beating up your younger. I do it all the time. I see you, John. You can beat up your younger brother. Maybe he was preventing someone from getting into a car drunk and had to wrestle the guy down, and they want to call an assault charge. We don't know too much about this, so I don't want to cast stones on anyone yet. Let's find out. The story's a couple days old. You would think more would be out there, but there's not enough to really it's not even about speculation, but I don't know what happened here. Let's let the facts come out. I'm sure we'll be following up on this when more comes out, but let's not jump to conclusions quite yet.
Well, the one thing it's for sure going to do is probably delay any fight that he's going to have at least until later in the year anyway. So he's going to have some legal problems to take care of until then. So we might not see him to the end of 2022 as it is. All right, guys, we've all been talking about for weeks here what would be next for Kambosos. Where is he going to go? Is he going to fight Haney, Lomachenko? Who's he going to fight? Well, it sounds like Lomachenko has already accepted a deal to fight in Marvel Stadium, which is a great name for this fight. Marvel Stadium in Australia against Kambosos with a rematch clause in it. Matty Bush, I'm going to start with you here. Is that a good thing for Kambosos, or is Lomachenko just going to run right over him? What do you think?
Well, I think it's a good fight. A lot of people are going to be mad because they thought like Haney and all that should have happened first and this and that. But in my opinion, I think Lomachenko's still the best at that weight. So yes, let's let that happen. And I won't say who's going to run through who, but if I see Lomachenko fight like how he fought Comey, Kambosos is in a lot of trouble.
Well, everyone on this show knows how I feel about Kambosos, but I also love Lomachenko. So this is going to be a tough one for me. But Kambosos, his first title defense is going to be against Lomachenko. Is that a good move, Filthy Rich?
Yeah, I would say no. That is not like, you know how I am. Like, you got to get your money when it's there. So take a little tune-up fight or something. But the heart of a champion, the heart wants what it wants. And if this dude wants to go out there and prove that he is the best by beating the best, have at it. I think the money was right in this fight. If Lomachenko, if the fight is a for sure thing, which it sounds like it is, I think he's going to make more money against Lomachenko than anyone else. It's according to sources, Devin Haney priced himself out. So Devin Haney can take the winner if he wants, if he doesn't want to price himself out. But I guess I do like this fight just because I want to see Lomachenko on top in the eyes of the alphabet world, the WBOs and C's and DQ, whatever. That's what I want to see.
You're all about the C's and D's, Rich. We all know that. Look at you don't know I'll drink to that? I thought for sure I was setting him up for that.
The C's and D's? What are you talking about? Where are the C's and D's?
I didn't understand either.
He's all, oh, jeez. Okay, well, it is a family
drink
show.
to
I guess
me.
I won't talk about Filthy Rich all about the C's and D's. Then James got it. Anyway, James, Lomachenko is rivals your fandom only to Terrence Crawford. I know what you think about Kambosos. You guys have ripped on me about this already here.
My guy.
Yeah. How much Tecate do you want to bet on this fight coming up? Okay.
I mean, how much do you want to drink?
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is, I agree with Rich. It's a poor choice. It is. The interesting thing about this, at least, it does state there's a rematch clause. Mm-hmm. If Kambosos were to lose, and that rematch does happen in Australia. So those are two big things. If Kambosos isn't who Ryder thinks he is, then at least you get another chance to see if you can figure out Loma. But yeah, I gotta agree with these guys. I don't have too much to add. It's just it's a poor choice. You're gonna make a lot of money, but yeah, that's poor.
It's a tough
well,
task.
if Kambosos wins this fight, I'm gonna look like a genius. I'm just telling you that. Right? Going back to our pound for pound rankings, I'm gonna look like a genius.
We'll see, man. The only other thing is that Kambosos doesn't have anywhere else to go because he has all the belts besides the belt that's Haney's holding, so he has to fight somebody. So I don't know. Haney would be the only other option.
And Rich, what did I tell you when we talked about this? Is that Kambosos has got heart. That's what I said. And hey, this shows the heart of a champion. Just like you're gonna take the best on him. We don't need no tune-ups. We don't need to fight no Matty Bush. What do you want?
Lomachenko takes hearts. Come on.
That's what you raised your hand to say?
Yep.
That's it.
This
That
isn't
one
Con
liner.
Air, man.
You waited up. Wow. Jeez,
Hey,
all right.
hey,
Worth it.
This is the prize fight, and we know who the prize fight king is.
That's
Let's move
right.
on.
It's Amir Khan, baby. It's Amir Khan week. Woo! Thank you, Rich. I love it.
To you.
Oh,
He's a prize fighter. That's what he does.
Hi, James.
I'm gonna have to send you so many Amir Khan photos to use for your editing here, James.
No.
It's gonna be great.
Get out of here.
All right, let's move on to the next one here. Boxing News 24 released some solutions to boxing scoring problems. We've talked about scoring problems in boxing for a long time here. Hashtag Adelaide Bird. What do you guys think of some of the ideas they have on here? They kind of went UFC style with like punch quality, significant punches, punch volume when landed, and control of space, like control the octagon they do in UFC. Is this a good thing or a bad thing? Is this never going to happen? Filthy Rich, will start with you.
Well, I think ring generalship is already one of the things they're supposed to score anyways. But if I am going to change, if there are things I would do to change the scoring system, one thing I think I would do is just add more judges. Instead of 3 people controlling the fight, let it be like 5 people, and let's see what happens. I also think they need to be more, I don't want to use the word liberal, but like be more liberal on 10-10 rounds. Judges are discouraged from scoring a round 10-10, that there should be a clear-cut winner. I don't think that should be the case. I think if there is a close round, there should be no shame in scoring it 10-10. I think those are 2 things that I would change about the scoring system, but I'd like to hear what these other guys, how they would change it, if they would change anything.
Speaking of 10-10s, I've seen more 10-9 rounds this year where there was a knockdown in the round than I've seen more 10-10s, which is ridiculous. But my idea would be to have live scoring of some kind. You know, there's scores in all sports where you can see where the scores are. Some kind of live scoring, what I would like to see, so boxers know when they're behind and stuff like that. That'd be my idea. Judge, what's yours as coming from a judge? What can boxing do to fix the problems that your like has caused?
Whoa. My score stuff, very true. Very true. I don't know.
Man. You didn't judge that knockdown against Lomachenko. That was a clear knockdown.
Oh, and you got Kambosos. Don't worry about that. So let's just back up on that, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. This is actually really difficult. You made some really good points, Rich. 10-10 rounds. I didn't really think about that one, you know, because I think I'm so used and ingrained with saying 10-9. It's like somebody has to win, but technically nobody has to win a round. You can definitely have people that was a 10-10 round, but besides knockdowns or point deductions for what do you call it? You know, headbutts, low blows, that sort of stuff. I mean, I don't see why we couldn't do that more. I probably need more explanation on adding more judges to the pool, because I think it still ends up being something similar with that. But yeah, I don't know. This is difficult. It definitely needs to have something fixed. But I still think if there was anything that had to be some sort of like penalty, that's what I think needs to happen. Is if there's a judge who's just literally egregious, what are you doing? You have to have, suspension, right? Like you have to get taken off. You have to try to explain your side, right? Now this isn't a judge. Earlier this year, I saw a ref who was trying to say that he didn't see a knockdown that literally happened right in front of him. Then he had 7 replays right in front of him, and he still defended that it was not a knockdown. He didn't see it. You have got to be kidding. You see how many times? Did you see that? I'm trying to remember who it was. Doesn't matter. It was Showtime.
I think it was a Showtime
fight.
fight.
Yeah,
Jim Gray was
at your house.
Yeah, because Jim Gray constant. I'm like, wow. So that just blows my mind, the fact that people just have that much pride. They just can't admit that they were wrong and move forward. However, it does affect a lot of people, so I get it. I mean, yeah, flip the coin, right? I mean, double edged, but I don't know. That would be mine. Get them suspensions rolling, get these judges back on point. Maybe you got to reapply for your judge's license and stuff on a more frequent basis too. Maybe you can only have it for a couple of years. That way, you just can't sit in the spot for 9,000 years. So
It's good points. Good points. Seaback, do you have any or Matty Bush? We have to figure out what your name's gonna be.
You do,
Yeah,
not us.
I
We
know. I
his
call it like
name.
18 different things throughout the show. What's some of your ideas?
Well, like I agree with a lot what they said. I do like that whole 10-10. Why, we have fights that can come out to be a draw. Why can't we have a draw in one round? So that's a good point. The only thing I can add between what they both said is judges shouldn't be allowed to hear crowd noise. I think the influence of crowd noise when a punch maybe doesn't land, but the crowd blows up, maybe they go, oh, did I miss that? Oh, they must have been effective. And then maybe they score it one way or the other. That's the only thing I can really add to that. And, getting rid of guys that, like you said, egregious scores, they do need to be suspended or asked never to come back. And, I don't know. It's a hard thing to deal with. But the only thing I could add is soundproof earphones, or they watch from a booth somewhere and watch on a TV like we do at home.
I don't know about the soundproof thing, but I don't know. What do you guys think about the referee? Speaking of, you guys both brought up referees. What do you guys think about referees having a say in the judging, maybe having a vote in it? They used to just call the fight back in the day before judges. They'd be the ones that make the decisions. Do you think the referees should get more votes? They're the ones that actually sitting in the ring. Maybe they should get a judge vote. What do you think, Rich? You're nodding your head up there.
Yeah, so referees used to do that. There was a time in boxing where the referee was the third man in the fight, and the referee bared the brunt of the responsibility. And it was a distraction for the referee to have to not only referee the fight, but actually keep score as well. So they've actually taken that responsibility away from the ref, so the referee can focus more on doing his job or her job. I do want to touch quickly on watching the fight on a monitor instead of being at a weird angle where you can't see punches. These judges are not, they don't have monitors in front of them. They're supposed to be looking up at ringside to see what is going on in front of them. Maybe they should get their phones taken away too, because I've seen referees playing on their phones. I'm sorry, judges playing on their phones during a fight. Teddy Atlas pointed that out a few times. So, let the referee referee. The referee should have no influence on the outcome of a fight, and let these judges look at monitors.
Right on. All right, those are some of our solutions here. We got one more bit of new. Oh, you trying to raise your hand? No, you're.
Oh no, I was just saying that you brought up like the ref's got a bad angle. I was just saying make them float around the ring above it. Just 3 of them that just kind of hover around it, looking down. Sorry, don't worry about that.
I like it.
Apparently, we need to get Peter Pan as a judge for every fight. Apparently,
Hey, Lost Boys. Bang, Peter.
All right, last bit of news we're going to hit into here first. In a preview of who might actually get Canelo next year, Arthur Beterbiev is going to fight Joe Smith Jr. in a unification bout at 175 this June, says Bob Arum. They must both be white. Yeah, okay. Just checking that out. What do you think? Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr. in a super fight at 175. Filthy Rich, start with you.
Yeah, I mean, this fight is probably the fight that needs to happen. Bob Arum's in charge of both their careers. The only thing I can see happening that can deter this is like someone testing positive for a banned substance. Probably not, but maybe COVID-19.
Make sure they don't send in to find out if they have any heritage that isn't white in that fight. Maybe that would cause it with Bob Arum's so-called racistness. James, what do you think of this super fight coming up here? Beterbiev, Joe Smith Jr.
I think it's good. It's what you need to see. You want to talk about an action-packed fight. This is going to be an action-packed fight. There's going to be a lot of punches. It's going to be a lot of punches to the face. We know both of them can take it. They both can dish it. And this is awesome. At least a fight is actually being made, right? Where Beterbiev has an opponent that's actually, his best opponent since Godsvig. This is do you still have stuff left in the tank? And does Joe Smith can he elevate to take the champion down and just catapult him in the ranks? I think it's going to be awesome. It's going to be great.
A lot of punches in the face. Sounds like Thanksgiving dinner at Matty Bush's house. Matty Bush, what do you think of this fight? Here's Beterbiev going to be able to keep his knockout streak alive in this fight.
I don't know. Like, I think James said, I don't know, last episode, I don't know, when we talked about it before, someone's getting knocked out in this fight. They both throw like heavyweights, but they're light heavyweights. So they're faster. And yeah, someone's getting hurt. Who's got the better chin? I've said it before. Whoever has the better chin wins this fight because there's not a lot of skill on either side. The only thing I can say is I think Joe Smith Jr.'s got the better chin and Beterbiev has the better body work. So I don't know. It could go either way.
It'll be a fun one to talk about this June. I can't wait for that to happen. Maybe we'll have to do our 175 in June here or in July actually to figure that out. All right, that's it for news, gentlemen. We know what's coming up, but we have reviews to get to first before we get to our Christmas presents here coming up later, so you know. So that's it for news. Let's go ahead and move on with the show. Bruiser reviews time. Finally answered the age-old question. We know what happened if Matty Bush and Filthy Rich got in the ring. If you guys are watching on YouTube, or if you're not watching on YouTube, you got to see this because these two guys look exactly like Matty Bush and Filthy Rich. Photos, it's crazy. But anyways, he's got the sad eyes that you got, Matt. Matty Bush, Daniel Jacobs, and John Ryder fought last week, and we didn't talk about it in previews last week because I didn't think it was going to be that big of a fight. Both fighters on the end of their career a little bit, but they surprised us a little bit. What do you think of this fight? Break it down for us.
Yeah, definitely a crossroads fight for both men. I watched the fight twice over, and I watched Daniel Jacobs come out, and he looked pretty spry, and he was, started out in an orthodox position against Ryder and southpaw, and he was popping out the jab, throwing a nice quick straight right, and he looked pretty solid, moved well. But then you could tell Ryder throughout the fight as it went on was trying to get in close and use his physicality, and Ryder definitely in better shape and stronger than Daniel Jacobs. Started wearing on him quite a bit to the point where Jacobs had to switch to southpaw constantly to try to keep him off, and it still wasn't working up until about the 7th round is when Ryder actually started taking hold of that fight. And Jacobs still, to his credit, landed a lot of shots in there still, but looked fatigued to me for about 4 or 5 rounds in the middle of that fight. And Ryder stuck to his game plan and established all the physicality that he had, and inside fought him and landed the more powerful punches for a long time. And then, Daniel Jacobs, heart of a champion, later in that fight still came out and started firing again and landing his own shots. And, I don't know if the scorecards were close. It could have gone either way, in my opinion. But if I had to give my 100% opinion, John Ryder landed the stronger, more effective shots throughout that fight. I feel bad for Daniel Jacobs because I really don't know where he goes from here.
Well, we're going to ask Filthy Rich where he goes from here. But I want to ask you, so you agree with the scorecards? It was very controversial a little bit, but you agree with them?
You know what? 115, 113, all the way around from every judge. One judge had it 115, 113 Jacobs, 115, 113 Ryder, and then the last judge had it for Ryder. Yeah, honestly, I'm not mad about it. I'm really not that mad about it. I mean, I could have gone with a draw, and that would have been fine with that too. And, but did I want to watch that fight again? Not really. So.
Okay. Well, you've watched it twice. Filthy Rich, where does Daniel Jacobs go from here? That's a tough loss at this point of his career. Is he become gatekeeper status, or what's going on with Daniel Jacobs from now on?
Yeah. So look, this was a very close fight. Before I say what's next for Jacobs, I want to say that John Ryder is better than I thought, and Daniel Jacobs he's not as old as I thought. I thought they both performed very well. So my very first suggestion next for Jacobs is a rematch. I think we need to see these two get it on again, only because there was controversy in the scoring, I guess you could say, which is why we touched on controversial scoring in our news segment. So my first matchup for Jacobs would be John Ryder. I want to see a rematch. Another guy I'd like to see is maybe someone like David Lemieux. I mean, the loser has
Still around?
loser has to leave boxing or something. Like I think those two. I don't know if they've met yet, but at some point they're gonna have to go at each other, I think. And I guess a third opponent, someone like maybe Billy Joe Saunders. I think Billy Joe would look at Jacobs as a tune-up fight, where Jacobs would say, "No, I'd whoop you up." So I think if Saunders is coming back, Saunders Jacobs would do pretty good. Let's say Saunders doesn't come back quickly. One last name. If Eubank Jr. goes to 168, I think that'd be a good fight too.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of looks like the end of Jacobs, in my opinion, too. So I don't know. James, what do you think? There's some interesting and ridiculous things said about John Ryder's future. What do you think his future is going to be?
Well, I disagree. I thought Jacobs won that fight. I thought it was kind of funny that one of Rosato's responses, because it was him and Connor Ben who were the commentary on that one, was now you know how I feel. Now you know how I feel, because I also thought that Rosato beat Jacobs when Rosato fought like 2 fights ago. So I think that was interesting. But Ryder, to me, didn't really impress. He definitely did better than I thought he would, or Jacobs just did worse than I thought he would. But either way, he got the win on the cards. What would be next for Mr. John Ryder? Not too much, to be honest. He definitely does not deserve a shot with Canelo Alvarez, like Eddie Hearns was saying. Like, I don't know.
He's ready for him. That's what he said.
No,
he's
that
not.
ain't no.
He's ready for a payday, is what that sounded like.
He's not gonna stand up to Benavidez. Billy Joe Saunders would probably be the better fight for him to fight, because they're both UK fighters, but BJS really wants to, if he's going to come back, he wants to beat up on Eubank Jr. So I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I think the only thing that we have here, at least for me, since the dog is done and Lemieux is fighting Benavidez, I guess if Ryder thinks he deserves something, fight Caleb Plant. Caleb Plant would probably take that fight. Probably be a tune-up fight for Plant if he thinks he's that good, but that would be, I don't know, I guess the next step up, if since he did win, that's what he believes. If he believes he's on the up and up.
When I watched this fight, guys, the thing that I saw, the predictions for me for both of them, they both look like they're destined for undercard status from here on out in their careers. I mean, I don't see any of these guys headlining ever again. You guys agree with that or not?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Unless you're an opponent like going against like Plant or Benavidez or Canelo, then you would be a headliner, but it wouldn't be a good headliner.
Yeah.
They're
They're low B
headliners.
side against a headliner.
They're headliners. They're
Really?
definitely-
Alright.
Yes, they definitely are. I mean, how
Well,
do
that's
you
just
get
because
them
you
on
like
the
to spend
undercard?
James's money. So I mean, that's why. If they're headliners, we'll let James pay for it, and we'll go over there.
I mean, this wasn't pay-per-view. This was a regular DAZN fight. It would just be like if they were on a regular Showtime main event. They're still main eventers.
Still got to pay for the zone.
Gotta pay for Showtime too.
Fair enough. All right, that's our reviews of last week's fight. Christmas morning's right around the corner, guys. We're gonna hit that one coming up next. All right, brews and previews time, gentlemen. You remember when you guys were kids? Christmas morning, you wake up at 6 a.m. You run downstairs, you see all the presents there. You go and beg your parents to wake up. And you come downstairs and they say, hey, before you can open that, you got to watch your sister open this first. Your sister gets to go first. Well, that's what we're going to do here first. We're going to have to go last. We're going to talk about Demetrius Ballard versus Jaime Munguia this weekend. Let's break it down here for what we look for. Filthy Rich, start with you.
Look for Jaime Munguia to win. Christmas morning. Let's go.
Okay. Filthy Rich really eyeing that present in the corner here like I am. But Judge, why don't you break it down a little bit better here on what to look for?
Well, God. Oh man, unreal. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a prove it fight, another prove it fight for Jaime Munguia, right? He just beat Gabe Rosado, beat Cerameda before that. This is another name at 160 that he needs to go through in order to keep climbing up the ranks. Big Meech definitely isn't going to be an easy fight for him by any means. I think they were supposed to fight. I thought they were already supposed to fight, and then Big Meech got COVID or something. Maybe that was right. Maybe that was wrong. I don't remember. But either way, I think it's still going to be a good fight. Munguia is probably going to come through and do his normal stuff, but it should be a fairly entertaining fight.
Matt from Lindstrom, Matty Bush. You got anything else to add to that?
Yeah, I think that Mungia's combination punching is going to be too much for this Mr. Ballard for this fight. I think it'll be entertaining for a while, but I think eventually body work is going to end up breaking down a guy, and it's going to be Munguia with his hand raised at the end. So let's get to Christmas. I want to.
Well, no. We got to get the predictions on that one first. On that one first. Hold on. Your sister's still opening the present there. Munguia comes in at a minus 1,200 favorite. The Ballard comes in at a 7-1 underdog. Predictions, Filthy Rich. Start with you.
We'll go with Munguia. I'm going to go with just decision. I think he's going to go out there just to prove again that he can go 12 rounds. Who wants any of this? So Munguia, unanimous decision.
Judge?
Well, he did take Rosado the distance, but I'm going to give more credit to Rosado here. I think that this is going to end up being a knockout by Munguia in the 11th round.
Jaime Mongia, what do you think there, Matty Bush prediction?
All right, I'm calling TKO in round 9
for Munguia.
Munguia.
It was a throwback. I will also take Munguia. I'll take him knockout in the 7th. That's where I'm going to go. All right, the wait is over, boys. James, would you do me a favor and cue the music in 3, 2. Oh no, what happened? Hold on. Where is it? Where are you? Okay, get ready to cue the music in 3, 2, 1. It's time. It's finally time. It's here. Dance with us, James. Dance the dance of love. The battle of the century, the one we've been waiting for since we started this show. Amir King Khan, the most sexiest man in all of boxing. If you don't agree, just look at my YouTube page right now. Versus Kell Brook, the man with the bionic eye sockets in London. The battle, or not in London, but in England. The battle for England. Who you got? Well, let's not talk about who you got. First on predictions, James, we know these are your favorite fighters. Why don't you break it down for us first?
Okay, going to me first. All right, well, you might as well get Scrooge out of the way, right? Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be. I think it's going to be a good fight. They're both well past their prime for where they should have fought. We'll have to see how Kell Brook comes in after having his face smashed in twice. Amir Khan, we don't know if that did he get like reinforcement on that glass jaw?
Nope.
I guess we'll find out.
He got it on the testicles after sometimes you get the testicles by your guy Crawford.
Hey, fair enough, man. You got to watch out for Crawford. But yeah, I mean, I think this is still going to be I think it's going to be an entertaining fight. I think it's going to be a more technical fight than people think. The one thing that I worry about is that it ends up becoming a boring fight because nobody's willing to take a risk, just because of where they are, both in their careers and then with what has happened in their past. So hopefully that this ends up being a much more aggressive fight. I think it will be, and I think it will definitely be worth. Not as big as it would have been, but definitely worth it in Manchester Arena.
Yeah. All right. Filthy Rich, this was on your fancy fight card, was it not? It's finally here. What do you think? You break it down any more for what James has got here?
Yeah, I was going to mention this was on my fantasy fight card. I think I chose like Wembley Stadium, and I think it was the 4th fight of my draft. I think we need to revisit that maybe someday this year, hopefully, now that we have Matty Bush on deck with us. I understand what James is saying, where this might be a boring fight where neither guy wants to take risks. They want to see the other guy mess up. So I think there's going to be the counter punch is going to be a big play in this fight. I think head movement will be a big play, especially Amir Khan's got to move that chin back and forth, left and right, side to side, whatever he's got to do. Because if
check that chin.
Kell Brook connects, he may go down for the count. I think Kell Brook, we haven't done weigh-ins yet, but I believe this is at 147. Something tells me Kell Brook might struggle to make weight, and if he's dehydrated, he might not be at 100% for this fight. So as long as this fight has been anticipated for, it's past its expiration date, but we the fans still, I guess, want to see it. Anyone who says they don't want to see it's lying to you. They're gonna be watching. So this is the most hyped fight of the year so far.
Filthy Rich calling out James, calling him a liar right there. People say they don't want to watch the fight. They really do.
Wait, did James say he didn't want to watch the fight?
Oh, he said he doesn't want this fight for a long time. He said it many times. Every time. Well, he just hates Amir Khan.
I don't know, man. Knock it off, James. You want to see this. You want to see this.
I can't wait for this. Matty Bush, break it down. What did these guys miss?
Well, we all know Amir Khan. Look at that picture. Come on. Look at that picture. But
look at that.
We all know I'm gonna unwrap the Christmas gift right now.
Check that chin.
He's still got fast hands at 35 years of age. Yeah, he's got fast hands. But who's got better timing? Kell Brook. Kell Brook's got better timing. I don't like the fact that it might be at 147. I was hoping at this time of their lives they might do a catch weight, so maybe give Kell Brook a chance to actually make weight. James alluded to that. That might be difficult for Kell to get there. But I don't know. Are we giving predictions right now? All I know is Amir Khan, he has been notorious. He could be winning. He's like maybe the best 4 to 6 round fighter we've seen in a long time. But he always gets drawn into a firefight. And who wins a firefight? Kell Brook. Like Ricky Hatton came out and said, if Amir Khan gets drawn into Kell Brook's style of fight and wants to fight on the inside, Amir Khan's getting knocked spark out.
Amir Khan's got to protect that pretty chin of his and protect his McNuggets, and then it's all his. It's all his, baby. The got to protect that beautiful side. But
if he comes,
hey, you're missing. None of you guys said the key word here. Amir Khan is a prize fighter. You have to understand that he's a prize fighter. Nobody has more experience than Amir Khan. He's a prize fighter. That's what he does. Pin me, pay me, baby. Pin me, pay me. All right, it's prediction time for you already know which way I'm going with this, but Amir Khan comes in as a slight underdog at plus 144, basically getting blackjack odds, time and a half. Kell Brook coming in at minus 174 in boxing terms. This is as close to a even fight as you can get. Predictions, fellas. Filthy Rich.
Look, this is again one of those things where I'm assuming people make weight, and
there's no titles on the line, so I don't think weight really matters.
Well, no, you still have to make weight. There's going to be some sort of fine. If you don't make weight, money goes into the pockets of someone else. Like that being said, and there's maybe I want to say there's no injury in mid-fight, like Kell Brook breaks his hand in the middle of the fight, or Amir Khan breaks his ankle or something. All that stuff aside, if this fight, everything, all things are even, I think I am going to take Amir Khan in 12 rounds. I'm taking Amir Khan in 12 rounds.
Decision, or he's going to knock him out?
Yeah. Decision. He's going to win. I guess I'll. Let's go split decision. Split decision.
All right.
Amir Khan.
Judge, the glass jaw versus the glass eyes. Who you got?
Oh man, I don't know. Where's Glass Jaw Joe? Or do you need him? That's too American for this. I'm probably gonna go. You ain't gonna like it, but I'm gonna go with Kell Brook. I kind of gotta agree with some other statements, but I think Brook will have the better power. I think he's gonna lure Khan in and do what he needs to do, and I think it's gonna end up being Brook in 10.
Oh, you're calling a knockout, huh? Knockout?
I think
so. Brook impressed you against Crawford? Is that what you mean?
No. But Khan ain't Crawford's son.
This is the battle of the Terrence Crawford losers, by the way. Glass eye versus glass jaw. Who you got there, Matty Bush?
Well, first off, Khan wouldn't have made it out of the first round with Terrence Crawford. So,
He
whatever.
He did.
Um,
What do you mean? He got hit in the
did.
testicles. He made it to what, round 6, 7? When he got hit in
Round
the testicles.
6.
yeah,
6.
well, he ran,
Sometimes you
he
get hit in the
ran-
testicles.
He ran the whole time. But
You can't run and get hit in the testicles.
no, it's hard to run when you get hit in the testicles. I suppose. But
James
can
can
I can't
vouch for that.
I can't pick the same round as James. I was gonna say 10 too. Why is this a 12-round fight again?
Because they're
it's-
prize fighters.
It's
What
a
do you mean?
prize fight.
They're
Are you
prize
kidding me?
fighters. It
Mute
it
him.
should be 15.
I
It should be a
can't mute him.
throwback.
It's
Go to
his part.
15 rounds.
Okay,
It's for the
well,
pride of England. You think this
Well,
isn't? This sold out in like 10 minutes over there.
Continue.
I can't take the same round as James, so I'm gonna go. There's so much emotion in this, especially for Kell Brook. More than I watched the face-off, and I think Kell Brook comes with like a vengeance. I don't care what weight it is. I'm gonna say round 9 knockout by Kell Brook.
Okay, you guys are wrong. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Me and Filthy Rich, you guys want to do a Tecate bet against these two for this fight here? You and me get King Khan, and these guys get Glass Eye Brook. You guys are willing to pull the Tecate on?
Look, I'll take.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah,
Yeah?
sure.
Yeah, it's
Do you
on
think
Tecate.
you think I'm afraid of drinking a bad beer?
No, I mean it's an
Come on.
upgrade for you. I mean, I'm telling you, I'll tell you that. The
Upgrade.
difference is you got to buy it. All right, my prediction, of course, is right here, the sexy one. He remained the sexiest man of all boxing. Hopefully, they don't. Hopefully, they agree not to hit each other in the face, so this can go 12 rounds because they both have glass jaw and glass eyes. So I mean, just lay off the face. We don't want Ryan Garcia to become the most good-looking man in boxing because that would just be lame. I'm going to take Amir Khan. I'm going to say this is going to go the distance too, and I'm going to say Amir Khan by. I'm going to go split decision with Rich. I'm not afraid to agree with Rich. When he's right, he's right. So I'm going to go with Filthy Rich. I'll drink to you, buddy.
Drink
Amir
to you.
Khan is going to win the battle of the glass in England. I can't wait. Make sure you watch that fight. Hopefully we'll be at James's house watching this. We'll be drunk before this fight starts. But Tecate will be flowing. I'm telling you that. I got a whole case of it still sitting in my fridge. So can't wait. I cannot
yeah.
wait. All right, let's move on with the show. I tell you, boys, that Christmas was just like opening up that brand new Super Nintendo, wasn't it? You remember when you were a kid, owning that Super Nintendo? That's what this weekend's going to be all about. Look at him. He's so good, he doesn't even have to look at the speed bag. Look at that massive sexiness right there. He's so fast, so good. He doesn't even have to look at the speed bag.
Oh.
Filthy Rich, why don't you bring us on home?
Look, it looked like gambling went up to $7 billion for the Super Bowl, which everything opened up. States are legalizing online gambling now. Yours truly won a bet this weekend. I took the Rams and I won basically 55 cents from the vending machine. Julius, I want to give you a shout out. Thanks for the pop, bro. I'll drink to you.
Wow. All right, James, if they're listening to this on the road, tell them exactly they have to watch our YouTube show for this episode, especially because there was a lot of fun graphics in this one. But if they have to watch it on the road, tell them where they can listen to it as well.
Man, if you're listening to this and you have to watch it so you can look at all the Amir Khan stuff that I got to put into it, you can go to YouTube.com/BruiseandBoxing and check it out. If you don't want to watch it and just want to listen to it, you can check us out on any major podcast site. Just type in Bruise and Boxing.
Yeah, don't worry. You'll be able to hear Amir Khan's signature theme song, too, on the podcast. So we'll just get to hear that. Just picture us all dancing. Matty Ice, you have any words of wisdom on the way out the door here?
Well, never wisdom, but I just
More whiz than dumb, right? More
I
dumb
just
than
feel-
whiz, I think.
I'm just gonna throw it out. Thank you to James for having to edit this because he's got to put a lot of Amir Khan music in to our dance moves. Thank you, James.
I thank you, too. And I thank you, Amir Khan, because without you, this show would not be as funny. This is dedicated to you and your career, baby. Maybe we'll put a little memoriam at the end with a little wink with him there. Give him a wink on the way out there.
Memoriam? He's not dying.
Well, you never know. I mean, it is Amir Khan, you know.
That's
He,
fair.
he made this show what it is. All right. This is my favorite show of the year so far, gentlemen. Thank you very much. Christmas morning comes in February as well, apparently. This is it is a very appropriate that this is the Valentine's Day week show, by the way. That Amir Khan would be on the Valentine's Day week show. I should have said Valentine's Day instead of Christmas. All right. Anyway, for Filthy Rich, Judge Jimmy James, and Matty Bush, I am Ryder Live. Make sure you cheer for Amir Khan this weekend, and we will see you guys next week.